Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Tonight, we're starting off the stream with Bitcoin continuing to struggle. We're going to take a look at the stock market and discuss what we think of today's market close. We'll go over current world news, and then we're going to be checking out more juicy Reddit posts brought to you by opinions nobody asked for. As always, we'll have some compelling questions for the chat, so grab a drink and let's get into it.
JJ's got the keys to the blockchain breeze. He's live every day, decode the mazes. JJ's cryptic corner where the coins keep turning. Log in now, the future's burning. JJ's cryptic corner. JJ's cryptic corner. Pixels glow, charts flow. Crypto whispers, secrets show. He cracks the code on this winding road. JJ's cryptic corner. JJ's cryptic corner. JJ's cryptic corner. JJ's cryptic corner. JJ's cryptic. Tune in, lean back, grab your coffee, hit the track. JJ's live, don't be late. Cryptic wisdom, seal your fate. JJ's cryptic.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Happy Friday. How's everyone doing today? Sound off in the chat. Smash the like button on your way in. I appreciate you guys for joining. It is Friday. Friday has descended upon us. I am so excited that I do not have to work tomorrow. What a lovely schedule. Let's see. Hey, what's going on, guys? Happy Friday. We've got coffee, we've got a delicious chai latte, and we've got Bitcoin, as well as a question posed by TM Enjoyer. They should fix their name. The question, pretty self-explanatory. Could crypto go the way of NFTs? The NFT hype seems to be dead for good. No one is talking about it or investing in it. I feel the same about altcoins. No one is talking about it except when the US president tries to scam his fans again. The only coin that people still seem to care somewhat about is Bitcoin, but the public conversation is pretty much dead except those who own it. There has not been any talk of any new revolutionary coins/tokens in several years, except for perhaps very niche communities. Honestly, could crypto, Bitcoin, fade into slow death like altcoins and NFTs seem to do? I feel like this is an excellent question posed at very precarious timing as far as the cycle is concerned, if you're a 4-year cycler. Let us know in the chat what you think. We also have a poll in the chat for your attention. It's the zombie apocalypse. What is your entertainment of choice that you're keeping in the bunker? Your options are a PlayStation, you pick what model, Xbox, you pick what model, Nintendo, you pick what model, or a gaming PC. And remember, it is the zombie apocalypse, so there's not going to be any internet. So if you're like, oh, I want to play Fortnite with my bros, you probably can't do that. So that's got to be something you take into consideration. Let's get into the charts, though. Let us know if you have an opinion on the cryptocurrency Reddit post. We'll come back to that later. Bitcoin is currently trading at $63,050. I'm pretty sure it was the exact same price yesterday. Let's refresh our liquidation heat map and see where we're at. You guys got any plans for the weekend? I have 0, and I'm stoked. Oh my gosh. Wow. I don't know if I've ever seen this thin before. 62,394. Whoa. What the heck? 62,394. Why is there stuff moving around again? It happened yesterday too. It freaks me out every time it does that. What's going on, Philly? And up top we've got 63,559. I don't think I've ever seen this that unpopulated. Philly said my car got hit while it was parked. Who hit it? That's happened to me twice. Actually, I got to check both times. If it was FedEx or UPS, you get a big fat paycheck, Philly. Or actually, if it's a person as well. The first time we got hit by FedEx, we got a big fat paycheck. Second time we got hit by a random dude, also got a big fat paycheck. Third-party claims, man. Third-party claims. Good money. Especially if there's no occupant in the vehicle. They just chill out a check. They don't expect anything from you. Because they're less obligated to worry about it. You know, if there's no person involved, then it's less expensive for them. They just got to pay for the car. That's crazy. That sucks, Philly. Is it bad? Hopefully it's not bad. Cheers, though. It's Friday. Silver lining. Yeah, figure it out if anybody's got footage or anything like that. I'm assuming you don't know who did it. All right, Bitcoin 63.35 and 95 cents. Not a whole lot going on here. We seem to be dancing around this trend line, this upper trend line. I like the idea of this being a retest, but it's at that precarious tipping point situation where is it a retest or are we just going to keep going down and it's just going to be a continued downtrend? Because we're like right at that lower low point potential, which every time we've seen a spring, it's usually off of a lower low anyway. So I don't know. I'm not worried about it, but I am observing, which I guess is the same that I've been doing for 4, 5, 6 years. So it's fine. ETH is at 0.13. Currently trading at 1884. Are we going to get another big fat dumperino? That is a question we are all waiting on for the answer. What do you guys think? Is ETH going to follow this fractal? And are we going to be by Monday? Oh my gosh, that would be by Monday, wouldn't it? Oh my gosh, are we going to be at 1671 by Monday? Wow, that would be pretty spooky, wouldn't it? Ray said, "What's up, JJ? Gaming computer because I can still do spreadsheets." Yeah, actually, that's not bad. That's not bad. The spreadsheets you can, apparently you can sell on Etsy and make a ton of money. All right. You could inventory your stuff, though, if there's a zombie apocalypse, and then sell that on Etsy for a ton of money. Do you think they'll have localized? Because we can do mesh networks, which is literally basically the internet, just on a smaller scale. So technically, you could set up the internet in your like local area, as long as you had electricity. It's still possible. That'd be pretty cool. Anyways, ETH 1884. We're going to keep a close eye on this and see if it even remotely resembles what the fractal's doing. Because so far, the accuracy here is frightening. With the fractal specifically, let me make it less transparent so that you guys can see it a little bit better. Like, that spooks me a little bit. I'm kind of being a little baby about that. Waterfly's still looking for 1400, so we'll see if we end up getting there. Sol is up 0.13, seemingly bouncing off of 75, but it does seem to be getting weaker over time. We've got break, bounce, bounce, bounce. It's just like it's like a bouncy ball. It's losing momentum. The momentum is fading away. Billy said, take a quick look in the Discord damage photo. Let's see. Oh, that sucks. You got any video, Philly? This is what happened to Philly's car while it was parked. That sucks so bad. least your tire's okay. The rim looks jacked up, though. Yeah, this is pretty bad. You got broken clips and stuff. They gotta replace this whole fender and that bumper. Might even need a... I mean, is your whole front end misaligned now because of that? Take a $4,000 check if you could file a third-party claim. Good money to be had there, potentially. You gotta figure out who did it, though. Get their insurance. Let's see. All right, let's continue. Guys, if you guys are interested, we do have Discord, links in the description. It's totally free. It's a lot of fun. I mean, it's fun. I wouldn't say it's a lot of fun. It's pretty barren in there. Philly said no video, just that small area. Dang. Yeah, see if any neighbors got any cams, doorbell cams or anything like that. If you can actually figure out who did it, then you can file a third-party insurance claim with their insurance company, and they'll just send you a check in the mail. Or they do direct deposit too. I got my latest one got direct deposited. You get an online quote for the damage. Okay, total 3, still dancing around 657 and 0.22. We've just been kind of bouncing them in this range between 662 and 652. Little $10,000 range. Ray said, I secretly hope for the zombie apocalypse just so I can kill with no remorse. Just grab a shotty, start making zombies. I know I'm not the only one. Billy said, finding out who hit it, probably not going to happen. Well, I mean, if you approach it like that, then just give up right now. Why even bother worrying about it? If you're going to give up right out the gate, then there's no point. Total 3, 656 and 23, or 656.23, 656.23. I don't really know what to think of total 3 specifically. We are still in high or low territory. We're looking for, I guess, 652 to hold, to continue holding. We're at 656 right now. Can we get above 665? That is what I would like. Billy said, it was in the back of my building, not facing any doors. Oh, shoot, Ray. I'd love to do that. All right. ADA is up 0.28, even though you'd never be able to tell. It's currently trading at 1806. Are we going to bounce off of this previous resistance turn support? Maybe. There may just be hope yet. Time will tell. Volume could be a lot better. Volume looks really, really bad. But the RSI potentially signaling a bottom, at least on the 4-hour time frame. Snack is down 0.1 or 1.1%. Currently trading at 3. We did lose, unfortunately, what is that, 20%? 13% over time. Can we regain that? Can we get a little bounce here? Time will tell. Who knows? Midnight, still struggling to do anything of value. XRP, playing with the dollar. We do got some wicks indicative of some buying pressure, so let's see if we can get some upside out of that. SWE, potentially looking like a little upside momentum. Pump, still playing around up in the clouds up here. Pump has been actually pumping, believe it or not. Philly said, JJ, I have very good insurance. I'd have to file a claim on my own policy. Okay, Philly, with a third-party claim, you do not. I have insurance as well. So if somebody hits your vehicle and you know who it is, you get their insurance information, whatever, you file a police report, you contact their insurance directly. Their insurance will not want to deal with your insurance because your insurance is going to milk them dry. They, in order to satisfy you, all they have to do is write a small check for the repairs. So you tell them, this is what happened, here's a police report, here's the damage, this is what it costs, and they will contact their policyholder and say, hey, did you hit this guy's car? Yeah, my bad, whatever. Or maybe they don't even do that. And then that guy's insurance premium will go up, you get a check in the mail, and everything's good. Otherwise, if you go through your insurance, you will not get a check in the mail. You'll just get the repairs done, and it'll go from whatever to whoever and whatever. You'll be kind of cut out. And your premiums will probably go up as well. It doesn't matter if it's no-fault state, anything like that. You can file a third-party claim and get a check for the repairs. Yeah, the car was parked. You were not in the car. Same thing happened to me. It's the same exact scenario. Where he said, Philly, as long as you have broad coverage, you're good. It depends on the state, though. Michigan is no fault. Yeah, third-party claim. It doesn't matter if it's no fault or not. You can do a third-party claim. You being the third party, contact their insurance, and you get a check in the mail. I did not know this. I did not know this until it happened to me. I called FedEx. I was like, hey, your guy smashed into my car. And they have cameras all over those trucks. So they verified it. And I let them know. I was like, my vehicle was unoccupied. It was parked at my apartment. And then they were like, how much were the damages? So I got an online quote, which was ridiculously expensive. It was like $4,000 or $5,000. And then they just cut me a check. It was pretty sick. It was pretty sick. All right, let's continue. Ondo, doing a whole lot of nothing. I'm going to flick through these guys fast. Arrow, doing a whole lot of nothing. Avalanche, doing a little bit of something. Chainlink. Whoa, my gosh, what happened to Chainlink? Wow. That's a 6.78% on the candle on a 4-hour time frame. What, did something get announced? Holy cow. Well, that's great. 6.82%. Hello? What happened? Did I miss something? Wow. That's a big candle, dude. Oh my gosh. That's awesome. Philly said, JJ, the car is parked. I was not in the car. If I wasn't in the car, it wasn't me driving. My rates will not go up. If you file a claim through your insurance and they have no one to blame, then your rates will more than likely go up. They'll say that. They can say that all day. And then when you go to renew your term, they're like, oh, it just costs a little bit more because of inflation, whatever. I refuse. 88 said, yo, OMG Chainlink don't make look good, LOL. Chainlink went up like 80 cents. It went up 7.02%. That's pretty sick. That's a pretty sick candle. What's going on? There's got to be just Chainlink specific news, right? That's a big old candle right there. 7% is crazy. I guess next stop, let's see if we can get above $10, man. It's at $9.59 right now. It's time. It is time. Hopefully it doesn't eat it all away with some dumpage, but the volume looks really nice too. I mean, was this obvious? That volume spike is quite an anomaly, is it not? Huh. Doge, doing a whole lot of nothing. I'm really intrigued at this. It's up 7.25% now. It keeps going up. 0.28. What is going on? 7.3? 0.35. This is a spicy candle right here. Do we have to just do a Chainlink stream? The first time a coin has pumped in like half a decade. 88 said, remember the day when candles like that were daily? Yeah. Yes, I do. Pepperidge Farm remembers. That's a nice candle, though. There's got to be news, right? There's got to be. Okay, yeah, I got an alert for it 54 minutes ago. Chainlink is up 5.17%. Wow. Trump just summoned crypto's biggest players. Junk. 3 possible scenarios why Link may not be dead. Well, this is a good reason. Maybe because the price went up 7%. Wow. Alright, let's check out the stock market close. Gold potentially rejecting 43.81. Silver at 0.37, potentially rejecting 65. DXY, ooh, harsh rejection of 100. Can we hold 99.4 or are we going to dump below it this time? We got 1, 2, third time's a charm. Let's see what happens. Dow Jones, plateaued, boring. NASDAQ, we got a green candle. 30K, still holding through the weekend. Let's go. Very nice. S&P, 77.85. We did get above 7,800 finally. Let's see if we can, I don't know, I guess let's see what Monday, or what futures has in store for us on Sunday. 88 said, I built a garage of the gains from Lincoln 2021. Nice. That's huge. NVIDIA, not quite to my target of 240, but 224 is lovely. Philly said I had a good F all long look in Discord. Nice. 5.04%. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you a big mama trade right there. Look at that. Hell yeah, Philly. That's the way to do it. That is the way to do it. Very nice. It's been a long time since we've seen a winning trade like that. We're all like, wow, is that real? Ray said, I just ate a famous bowl from KFC. Time to wash it down with a Corona. Ooh, that actually sounds lovely. I'm not even a beer guy. I'm not even an alcohol guy, but I could go for a beer right now, man. I'm at my client's house, and it's my boss's aunt. I'm demoing her back deck, getting ready to build a new one, and she's like, there's water in the fridge in the garage. She's a very sweet old lady. And I had been, I bring my own drink, so I'm like, whatever. And I didn't want to be rude, so I was like, I'll go check out what's in the garage. I open up the fridge, and it is glowing with the cans of beer. And I was like, dang, that would be so nice right now to crack open a beer. Which I don't think would be an issue for anybody, but it would probably be an issue for me. I thought about it. Billy said 87% JJ, where'd you get 5.04%? When did I say 5? No, I was reading 5.04x. Did I say percent? 5.04x leverage. That's what I was trying to reference. I thought I said that. Maybe I might have said the word percent. My bad. Okay. Let's continue. Ray said, I'm the same. Not a beer guy. But we have some Ronas left over and it's Friday. F it. I might partake in an edible in a little bit. I took an edible the other day. And I don't know what happened. I had like what I thought was the greatest sleep in my entire life. But I don't think I actually slept. I think I was just like resting with my eyes closed. Because I woke up as soon as my alarms went off. I was wide awake. And I like went about my day. And then like 3 hours into my day, I was like, oh, I'm so tired. I don't think I actually got like proper like REM sleep. 88 said can't lie, I hear percent. I might have accidentally said percent. Okay. Let's continue. Tesla up 0.68. $341.60. Tesla's not as sexy as it used to be, man. I don't think it's a bad investment. I think like it's kind of like the leftovers at this point. Elon combined like every company except for Tesla. It's like, I don't want any of that, and they're just, Tesla can just do its own thing, and it's not even that important. Everyone's like, okay, why would I want to buy this? This is one company. There's like a basket of Elon companies and SpaceX. People like to follow the herd, man. MicroStrategy, aka Big B Copy, 9309. Let's go check STRC. Whole lot of nothing. Ooh, the dumpage continues, 94.75. What do we think, guys? Is Bitcoin ever going to recover enough to allow MicroStrategy to recover? Bitcoin dominance dumping. We're below 59. Are we going to break below 58.5 next? Bitcoin itself is chilling. Link is retracing. That Starlink's the best business. We actually have Starlink at our farm now, and it's wonderful. Thoroughly enjoy it. We might get a Starlink for the van as well. The gigantic, monstrous 170,000 mile van that my boss paid way too much money for. It's a lovely van. I don't want to sound ungrateful, but he was unsupervised at a car dealer. He didn't do any of the things that I said to do. I said, look for rust. It's covered in rust. They painted over it. I said, check the door gaps. The passenger door looks like it has been pried open a dozen times. It is literally like, the door is supposed to look like this, and it's like, the passenger door is like this. It's like hanging off the car. I'm like, who did you guys use your eyeballs when like purchasing the vehicle? Crazy. Ray said, hell yeah, Link will put something real nice in that garage next. I've been making money on Link for years. Hasn't paid me out in a while, though. We are due. Very nice. 6.71%. It's nothing to sneeze at. Let's continue. We've got news segment stuff. Market's pretty quiet otherwise. Chainlink looks great, man. That's awesome. Congratulations to all the diehard Chainlink folk out there that have been patient enough for it to actually move in price. We've got a question from cryptocurrency subreddit from TM Enjoyer. Could crypto go the way of NFTs? This intrigued me. This intrigued me because Philly said, what? They painted over rust? Yes, they 1000% paint that over the rust. I actually took a picture. It's like bleeding rust outside the passenger door. I don't know if it's holding water somewhere, but it does not look good. Okay, are you ready? Let's go to the bar. Can you see that? Yeah. See the rust bleeding out of it? That was covered in white paint once upon a time. And now it's just like, it's rusted so bad that it's starting to bleed. Nobody listens to me, man. There's lights all over the dash. There's the door ajar. There's the tire pressure. Magically, the battery light comes on every once in a while. Boss calls me. I think I told you guys about this. He called me the day they bought it. He's like, we can't figure out how to get these lights off on the inside. And I was like, okay, what do you want me to do? I'm in another state. He's like, we can't figure it out. And now mind you, it's like midnight. And he is tweaking. He's like, we got to just unplug the battery. And I was like, are there any lights on the dash? It's probably from a door being open. They're like, we've slammed all the doors. And I'm like, okay, then it's from a sensor. The car does not think that the doors are closed. They're like, it's not that. I'm like, okay, I don't know what to tell you then. Everything that I say, it's not that. It sounds like you guys figured out what it is. So, 88, you are not wrong. You are not wrong. So they get home finally. I unplug the lights and I sit in the driver's seat and I'm like, the door ajar light is on. They're like, what? I'm like, it says that the doors are open and the doors are not open. Was that on? My boss goes, no. And Lupe, the guy that actually drove the van, goes, yep. And I was like, oh. And then there's all these other things that they're pointing out. And I literally point blank, after like the third or fourth problem, mind you, they just got this. It was the day they brought it home. I go, did you guys even test drive this? Because they're like, oh, it makes a noise when you go over a certain mile per hour. And I go, did you test drive it? And they go, yeah. I was like, did you take it on the freeway? No. What did they do? Did they like do a circle in the parking lot? It blew my mind, man. Blew my mind. Oh my gosh. There's obviously jar in his door. Oh, the door is actually just like an actual jar. What kind of ride? It is a 2017 Ford Transit 250. Basically a freaking RV. There are no parking spaces that fit this damn van. And it gets half the gas mileage that I used to get. It's lovely. It is a lovely vehicle. But my stupid little baby van, going from that to this monstrosity, gas is twice as much. And there's more miles on this thing. There's more miles. So I'm upgrading to a newer vehicle with more miles. I don't know, man. I don't know. Phyllis said, I can't remember 15 years ago. I was shopping for a used truck. This vehicle looked beautiful, but underneath was all rust everywhere. Like they parked in a beach city or something. Yeah, rust is scary, man. You gotta be careful. I was taking photos. The salesman said, my manager's here. Get back inside. He was rude AF. Yeah, I'm not buying your car if you're rude. You need to kiss my ass if you want me to buy your car. It could be the greatest deal on the planet. If you are rude to me, I'm gonna leave. I'm not giving you the commission, buddy. I told him to go F himself. Good. Good, Philly. That's great. That's so good. All right. This intrigued me because it's very like bottom market behavior. TM Enjoyer on X, on the crypto, not on X, I'm sorry, on the cryptocurrency subreddit, posted, could crypto go the way of NFTs? The NFT hype seems to be dead for good. No one is talking about it or investing in it. I feel the same about altcoins. No one is talking about it except when the US president tries to scam his fans again. The only coin that people still seem to care about is Bitcoin, but the public conversation is pretty much dead except those who own it. There has not been any talk of any new revolutionary coins in several years, except for perhaps very niche communities. Honestly, could crypto, Bitcoin, fade into the slow death like altcoins and NFTs seem to do? What do you guys think? 88 said, Ray, well, it returns 10% a year, 300 a month, and increase the property assessment as a whole, about 45K. Philly said they had balls put that vehicle on a sales parking lot. 88 said it fits my recipe, we follow. Very nice. Okay. Not sure where you are, but crypto lost all the hype. It all moved to AI. Some would say the gamblers moved to Polymarket. I agree, some of them have. Polymarket started as a crypto project. Ooh, dang. Hype, yes, but the market cap for crypto is still 2.25 trillion. Crypto AI is dead too, by the way, just in case someone asks. The main difference between crypto and AI is crypto doesn't deliver a product, AI does. The feeling right now is exactly the same as 2022 and 2018. I'll just wait for history to stop repeating itself before I make any judgments. Exactly. Might as well rename the sub to Buttcoin based on the irrational hate the average poster has. Most of the morons in this sub bought ADA and Polkadot at their highs. I bought Bitcoin and chilled since 2019. Some of us did all three and learned important lessons while not losing our shirts and are still in the game. Oh man. People say the same shit every time crypto isn't a straight line up. Saw this in 2018, saw this in 2022 for all my accumulators. See you at the top. Let's go. I'm here, baby. Crypto is far from dead. My clients include financial institutions adopting crypto, mostly blue chips like Bitcoin and ETH. Yeah, I feel like crypto just got institutionalized and the bubble popped, so we're in the midst of that popping still, you know, the ripple effect, but I feel like I would have probably abandoned ship by now if it really was dead. And I feel like this happens every single time. Anything that pays me 10% back and someone else pays it off is a good thing, in my opinion. All right, let's get to the news segment. Citibank calls for U.S. Senate to pass the Crypto Clarity Act. Peter Schiff says sell Bitcoin. I like that they put sell in parentheses. Sell Bitcoin. Or in quotes, I'm sorry. President Trump says he will soon declare the Strait of Hormuz territory of the United States. I like that we can just like steal oil and land and nobody else cares or does anything about it. I'm not gonna lie. Like, what is the official... Is there an official process of us just taking a piece of land and being like, this is ours now? Like, what paperwork do you have to file? Is there like a global homeowners association? Country owner association? Trump family crypto company, World Liberty Financial, receives approval to become a federally chartered bank. Oh, thank God. Okay, they're leaving crypto. I think we're good now, guys. Kobe, see you later. Weakness in the U.S. full-time employment is deepening. Full-time employment fell 106,000 in July to 133.55 million, the lowest since December 2024. This marks the fourth consecutive monthly decline, totaling minus 1.11 million. Since January 2025, full-time employment has dropped by 2.35 million. As a result, the number of full-time workers is now just 1.4% above pre-pandemic levels. Meanwhile, the full-time employment to total employment ratio has fallen to 82.4%, the third lowest since March 2018. U.S. labor market is weak beneath the surface. Ray said official process is boot to ass. I like it. Retail investors are piling into gold mining stocks. Demand for gold miners is skyrocketing. Tesla stock extends gains over 3% on the day as reports that the company is nearing the unveiling of a flying roadster. Why would the stock go up from that? How many people are going to buy a flying roadster? Do you think the FAA is really going to allow that? People are goofballs, man. U.S. job market is losing workers at an alarming pace. U.S. labor force participation rate fell minus 0.1 percentage points in July to 61.4%, the lowest since May 2020. This metric measures the proportion of working-age Americans either employed or actively looking for work. We actually genuinely have been trying to hire people for labor, like very simple labor, mind you, and it pays really well, and have had 0 hits. It's crazy. Excluding the 2020 pandemic, this is the lowest reading since 1976. Wow. The U.S. jobs market is much weaker under the surface than headline data suggests. Probably should cut interest rates then, am I right? U.S. consumers are extremely bullish on stocks. The perceived probability among U.S. consumers that U.S. stock prices will be higher 1 year from now increased 0.5 percentage points in July to 41.4%, highest since April 2021. Bullish sentiment is spreading across all consumer age groups. Here's my question. How much cocaine do you have to do in Wall Street to go, I wonder what the perceived probability is that the U.S. stock prices will be higher 1 year from now among U.S. consumers. We should measure that. What? Who cares? Do you think the stock market's going to be higher in a year? What do you perceive? Excellent. Thank you for your opinion. Like, what? Do people pay for this information? It blows my mind that this is information people feel like gathering. It goes back to the marketing thing. They're like, you pay for marketing, and then you pay for the marketing to tell you if it worked. You don't find out if it worked by you selling more product. You just, like, they tell you, like, yes, people saw this picture that we put up on this website, or people watched the 3 seconds of this video on YouTube. The insecurity is just through the roof, man. People pay more money for insecurity than anything else on the planet. Blows my mind. Okay. Philly said, I'm taking the W on my long. I closed out 75% of it. Very nice. 88 said, Ray, it's kind of trifecta property rentals. The property goes up in value. Someone else pays the mortgage and you cash flow 10%. If you have 100K in S&P, make 10%, but miss the assets going up and someone else gives you the 100K if a lagar. I don't know what that means. That last word is not a word. The long US dollar trade is crowded. Market participants are betting heavy on the US dollar. I don't know how I feel about that, man. Do we think the dollar is going to go up that much? Because it looks a little weak, but it also might be setting up an inverse, not an inverse head and shoulder, a little triple bottom action right here, which we've seen pay off tremendously in the past. It is holding this previous resistance. I don't know. It's struggling to get back above 100, though. Okay, let's continue. Breaking. The U.S. government officially posts its largest July budget deficit in history at minus $432 billion due to an acceleration in federal spending. Interest on U.S. debt rose $26 billion from last July's levels at an alarming $118 billion for the month. This puts total interest expense for fiscal year 2026 up to $1.17 trillion. As a result, interest expense has officially surpassed both national defense and Medicare spending. In other words, the U.S. government now spends more money just on interest than it does to fund the entire U.S. military or to provide health care for seniors. We cannot afford higher interest rates. Whoa. 88 said, JJ, F that. I might have spelt it wrong, but it's a word, asshole. Lagar? Alright, let's see. Hang on. Lagar definition. Lagar, a traditional shallow stone or concrete trough or tank used in Spain or Portugal to crush and ferment grapes. Okay, fine. Touche. Touche. A lagar. Oh, okay, whatever. You didn't have to post it. I didn't realize we were in Spain or Portugal. Close, but no lagar. Dang, that's pretty good. Serious consumer delinquencies remain historically elevated in the U.S. Student loan delinquencies, that's not serious. Let's move on. Credit card 90-plus day delinquencies now stand at 12.9%, the second highest since Q1 2011. By comparison, credit card delinquencies peaked at 13.7% in Q2 2010 in the aftermath of the 2008 financial crisis. Meanwhile, auto loan 90-day delinquencies now stand at 5.5%, the second highest on record, surpassing the Q4 2010 high by 0.2 percentage points. U.S. consumers are struggling to keep up with their debt payments. I need to look into where the local auctions happen, because if they're like actually repossessing this many vehicles there's gotta be just a surplus that you can get for like dirt cheap at these auctions. 88 said this channel deserves way more viewers, in my opinion. Thank you very much. We'll get there eventually. I hope. If not, then oh well. We'll continue doing what we do, man. Marty Party posted stablecoin market cap jumped up right after the Iran war was announced and dropped, starting almost exactly when the OFAC cracked down on Iran use of stablecoins. I like that the Iran war was announced, like it was like some video game DLC. Truflation daily US CPI 2.28% year over year today, up 0.08. This is pretty funny. Latest strategy opposes MSCI's proposed index rules that could exclude MicroStrategy. Says Bitcoin doesn't need MSCI, neither does strategy. That's smart. That's a very smart thing. Like if you're looking to lose your job, just tell your boss off. You know, if you're like right on the tipping point of potentially being let go, just go scream in your boss's face. That's fine. This was very interesting and has gotten very little coverage, and I think it deserves a little bit more. This is a big deal, I think. Update, maybe. We'll see. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says core inflation has fallen to 2.5%, and wages for the bottom 25% of American workers rose 5.5% over the past year. It sounds like everything that Warsh said at his first meeting is slowly being like, the chess pieces are being put out. And then maybe this next meeting, he's going to be like, we're doing a cut. I don't know. Guys. Maybe that's crazy. Ray said, when we get there, I'll be selling, right? Yeah, for sure. You know what's going to be funny? Is if we get there, I don't think it's going to be because of crypto or finance. I think it's going to be from Reddit. Can I ask how many tokens people hold in here? Like how many projects, not the amount of them. How many projects? Well, I think mine's less. It might be less than double digits now, which feels crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, mine is less than 10. Wow. That's kind of depressing. All right, let's continue. Bitcoin profitability has dropped into historic bottoming territory, a potential capitulation signal as weaker hands sell to higher conviction buyers, according to CryptoQuaint. This goes back to that Reddit post where that guy's like, do you think Bitcoin and crypto are going to go the way of NFTs? Mind you, NFTs just came about. Crypto, in general, has been around since before 2010. Billy said, I'm going out and walking around my condo development with a flashlight and tape measure. Why? Flashlight and a tape measure. Are you going to try to see who hit your car? Billy's like measuring everyone's wheel wells, trying to see if anyone's got any scrapes at that specific height. That's all I can think of. Talk later, everyone. Take it easy, Philly. A flashlight and a tape measurer. What could that be? He's just like a serial penis measurer. He's like running up to people. He's like, ha! People are like, get out of here, man! Oh, Billy checked the local flock cams. That's what, I didn't want to say that. I did not want to say that, but you could get a couple grand. You just contact flock, be like, hey, somebody hit my car. They'll be like, are you authorizing us to completely violate your privacy and rights? Yes, absolutely. Okay, we know everything about you. All right, let's continue. They know everything about you anyways. You don't have to authorize them. They don't need authorization. How silly of you to assume that they need authorization. OpenAI's Chief Revenue Officer, Denise Dresser. I swear, guys, these people's names. Denise Dresser has left days after longtime executive Brad Lightcap announced his departure. These are not real people. So I said measuring the height, dumbass. The height of what? The height of the penis? I'm sorry. I'll stop. Lightcap, Dresser, Altman. The last names, like, they're just making stuff up at this point. They're like, what do we call the chief revenue officer? They're like, Denise Dresser. There's a Dresser right there. Denise Dresser. What about our longtime executive that's leaving? Longtime executive Brad Lightcap. Like the little cap that covers the light. Brad Lightcap. I like that one. It's just, these are made up names. There's no way these names are not made up. Aave V4 deposits have surpassed 400 million, marking a new all-time high. That's weird. Why would they do that if crypto's dead? So strange. Elon Musk says orbital computing may be the only way to scale AI by 2029 due to power availability and permitting constraints on Earth. I actually kind of agree with this. I'm just getting sucked into the fake names. 88 said, just call me Max Wiener. I kind of agree with this. I usually feel like Elon says stuff to benefit him or cash grab or whatever, and he might benefit or cash grab from this now. But I do think that solar in space, where it can be all day, like you can just have constant direct sunlight all day. You don't have the atmosphere to worry about with clouds and stuff like that. Solar all day, every day in space is probably the best way to power. Plus, space is a vacuum, so it's freaking cold. It really does make the most sense. I think people don't like to say that it makes sense because they want to be number one, like Sam Altman. And Sam Altman does not have a SpaceX or a Blue Origin in his corner, you know? All he has is a bunch of people whose ideas he probably steals from. 88 said dildo is a funny word. It is a funny word. J.R.R. Tolkien decided to use Bilbo as a name, which is somehow more funny. The height where the damage is and walking around a lot looking at other cars. That's what I said at first, Philly. You didn't answer me, so then I went to the wiener measuring. I can only assume. Now you're being a little defensive, so I'm assuming you're measuring wieners. Latest Grayscale. Grayscale says proposed Ethereum and Solana tokenomics changes could cut annual supply inflation to roughly 0.4% for ETH and 1.1% for SOL by 2031, increasing security while reducing staking rewards. That's such a good idea. Not only did they screw over miners when ETH migrated from proof of work to proof of stake, they also screwed over the stakers because they said liquid staking is not liquid. Even the most liquid version, there's like a month-long queue to unlock and withdraw your staked ETH. It's so bad that Vitalik won't even stake his Ethereum. But not only that, now they're like, we want to pay you less. So we're going to, there's going to be so little incentive that it's actually going to be worse for security, because why would anybody even operate a staking pool? There's no benefit. I don't know, man. These people are silly. Kraken parent Payword reported 508 million in Q2 revenue, up 17% year over year, despite a 13% drop in trading volume. OpenAI says enterprise now brings in more revenue than ChatGPT's consumer business, and its annualized revenue run rate hits 40 billion. You know what would be the greatest self-advertisement for one of these companies? Is if the CEO came out and said, all of our top executives have been replaced with the model. ChatGPT, Sam Altman says, all of my top executives have been replaced with ChatGPT. The Claude guy comes out and says, all of my top executives have been replaced with Claude. That would be, everyone would go, oh my gosh. And it's still working and they're making record profits. Even better if they did that and didn't announce it until like latest earnings. You know, earnings come out and then they're like, those earnings, every single one of my like top paid employees was actually not a top paid employee at all. It was actually just Claude for the past 6 months or whatever. That would be so sick. What would be even scarier though is if they if like Sam Altman or the Anthropic guy came out and they were like, I am actually AI. I don't exist. Any of the footage that you've seen of me has been completely fabricated. And the other individuals involved in the clips have been paid off for their silence. That would be scary. How many people have actually met these people in real life? You know what I mean? We have no idea. let's continue. We're getting a little too tinfoily. Trump escalates his Hormuz remarks, saying he will declare the Strait of Hormuz a territory of the United States. I think we should do it. Just do it. We should just declare Iran. Why don't we just declare Iran a territory of the United States, make peace with ourselves, and then open the Strait of Hormuz? Oh my gosh. Somebody get the White House on the phone right now. How has nobody thought of that? Ray said, Standard Chartered report. The global bank initiated coverage with a long-term $200 price target, pointing to Chainlink's dominant role in projected $4 trillion real-world asset tokenization market. That's why Link pumped, probably. Probably. Yeah, Link is definitely probably one of the safe long-term holds for sure. Just in, U.S. regulator conditionally approves bank charter application for Trump-backed World Liberty Financial. The U.S.-Iran ceasefire is set to expire as talks reach a standstill per Politico. The White House is expected to host crypto and prediction market executives, including Coinbase, A16Z, Ripple, Chainlink, and Kalshi on Wednesday. Kalshi's the odd man out. President Donald Trump, is expected to meet crypto and prediction market executives at the White House next Wednesday, Bloomberg reports. Didn't they just say that? Bitcoin Magazine posted, this was also kind of interesting. Israel's largest bank is entering Bitcoin. Bank Leumi will allow customers to buy, hold, and sell Bitcoin directly through its banking app. This service is expected to launch in early 2027. That's pretty good, not gonna lie. $326 billion Edelman Financial discloses owning $34 million in Bitcoin ETFs. Very cool. I like that this is how they announce it in like this nonsense that nobody understands. Pretty good stuff. We've got Crypto Fergani. Here we go.
I truly believe we are on the cusp of a biblical parabolic advance that will send shockwaves throughout the financial markets globally. FOMO of an unprecedented level. All eyes will be on crypto. History will be made. Fortunes will be acquired.
Crypto Fergani, ladies and gentlemen, give the guy a round of applause. What a legend. Bar chart posted housing market. Number of home buyers falls to lowest level ever recorded. Eventually, when it gets down to like 1 or 2, I might be one of those. Watch. Just watch it. I will potentially be an identifiable factor on this chart. That would be pretty cool. Biblical. Fergani spazzy. Dude, Fergani has been in like full tweak since like probably 2014, if we're being honest. He was the only one calling the bottom in at 16K and the top at 126K. Did you know that? 30-year Treasury bond auction drew an interest rate of 5.216%, the highest in 25 years. Equal weight S&P 500 with a clear breakout. Very cool. We do like breakout. We do like the S&P 500. Justin Crypto OG said, how's it going, fam? How are you, my friend? A massive copper shortage is expected over the coming 15 years. You get into Robinhood memes yet? I have not. Not yet. I do have time off, though. Maybe I will this weekend. NASDAQ 100 on track for its second best August this century. Very cool. There is now less than a 33% chance of a September rate hike. Breaking China. People's Bank of China just injected 348 billion yuan, $52 billion into their banking system through overnight reverse repos. Their first mid-month injection in history. Dear God. Let's go. Gold miners with a clear breakout and reclaiming the 200-day moving average. Also very exciting. Semiconductor stocks have soared more than 10% this month, on track for their best August since 2003. Very cool. S&P 500 profit margins hit the highest level ever recorded. Also very cool. CBOE Volatility Index, VIX, closes at lowest level this year. No fear left in the market. It's boring out here, guys. We've got our Coinfessions. I run a crypto Twitter page with 13,000 followers, acting like I actually have a clue what I'm doing when it comes to trading the market. I literally have no idea what I'm doing and regularly lose money myself. The only thing that keeps me above water is my Patreon group. Dang. I'm going to do a little self-show right here, guys. I have no Patreon group. I have no paid Discord. I have no course that I'm selling. I have no bullshit ask. I expect $0 from you guys. Sometimes I lose money trading. Sometimes I make money trading. Most of the time, I make money at my full-time job. I have a full-time job. It is in my best interest to not lose my own money. I am not gambling with your money because you guys don't give me any money, because I don't ask for any money, because I don't need any money from you guys. Isn't that crazy how that works? If you guys don't give me any money, I'm more inclined to make money with my own money. It's almost like better that way, because then you can kind of trust some of the things that I'm saying, because I'm not going to try to lose money myself. But also, I usually just say what I feel and what I know as a fact, which is majority of the time nothing. So I will just present to you what I see and tell you that I'm probably full of shit, because that's usually what it is majority of the case. But we have fun doing it. Okay, let's continue. I had a trade open, and it was my mom's birthday. It was in a huge loss, and I closed it when it almost reached my liquidation price, bringing me to an all-time low of my net worth. Later, I went to buy a cake, while deep inside, I was crying. What? Oh, okay. Like in his head. I was pretending to be happy while celebrating. It was so difficult to hide. I completely ruined it. I'm never trading again, and will always think about my mom and people I love before making such stupid decisions. I mean, yeah, at least they acknowledge their selfishness. It is what it is. Ray said, is Robinhood Chain the normal Robinhood app? I haven't used Robinhood in years. I use CS for stocks. Robinhood Chain, I think, is its own thing entirely. That's why I haven't gotten into it. The barrier entry is a little higher than what I give a crap to bother with at the moment. I've lost more than $500,000 last 3 years in scams, rug pulls, and buying what bad influencers dumped on me. Dang. See, this is the problem then, because then people see this, or they feel this way, and then they go, the only way to make money is for me to scam people too. And then they end up in prison. Deep inside with his head. Yeah. I didn't understand that. They worded it weird. While I was crying deep inside, I was like, deep inside the store? Like they went all the way to the back to cry or something? Sir, you can't be back here. Leave me alone, I lost a trade. Oh, feel good post of the day. My puppy stole my neck pillow for his own portable dog bed. Look at how freaking adorable that is. That's a smart dog, dude. I don't know that I've ever seen a dog do anything like this before. At least not at this age and size. That is a little teeny tiny little baby puppy. Look at that. Is so freaking cute. Next, we got a little puppo. I can't tell if this is AI or not. It's a very pretty dog, though. Look, he's got a fat little head. And we've got this little thing. I think my Uncle Billy had a couple of dogs like this. He was not that kind of guy either. He was like a rough and tumble, like factory working Uncle Billy. He like drank beers and smoked cigars. And he had just like these 3 fluffy ass little dogs. They're pretty adorable. Little yappers though. They're kind of annoying. My pillow now, bitch, right? This cracked me up too. Am I doing this right? This reminds me, do you guys remember the video of the old dudes? The video has to be from like at least at the earliest the 90s. And it's a bunch of dudes and they're like in like a hot spring or like a natural spring pond or something in like the mountains, and they're like doing flutes and stuff. And then the guy that he just reminds me of the Lorax dude. He's like this fat ginger dude, and he's like going crazy on the flute, and then he dips it in the water and it goes whoop, and it makes a cool sound. Do you guys remember that? It's like a 5-minute video. We watched that video on this channel like at least 3 or 4 times during various 12-hour live streams. It is the craziest thing. I'm like, this is what vibes used to be back in the day, man. Me and the boys on like this weird like retreat, this weird flute retreat. They were definitely doing like acid or something crazy. It was like, it had to have been like the 60s or 70s, but the footage is insane. I'm like, what is going on here? I've never seen anything like it. And then you got the opposite of that is like the people, like the weird therapy, the women like screaming in the woods. and like smacking tree branches on the ground and stuff like that. I'm like, man, there's like people like just trying to hang out and play the flute in the water, and then there's people just like constantly angry. They're so mad that they're beating the ground up with sticks. Oh man. All right, that is it for X. Bitcoin 63,138 and 54 cents. Not bad, not bad. Let's see, Chainlink retrace. No, Chainlink more upside. 8.31%. Let's go, dude. Let's go. What did they say for the price? Standard Chartered reported $200 price target. Dang. That is quite a spicy price target, isn't it? $200 price target, pointing Chainlink's dominant projected $4 trillion real-world asset tokenization market. Very nice. Do we think we're gonna hit $10 today? That'd be pretty sick, wouldn't it? And we got Avalanche. Whoa, Avalanche is up 5.36%. What is going on? We've got small upside happening in the market. Very cool. Total 3 starting to feel it, Mr. Krabs. We like this. Chainlink and Avalanche. Adam Thomas said 1 million compounding 116 days with 12% a day starting with $2. JJ, I'm gonna start 10 accounts. I feel like that's way too splintered focus for me. All right, 8.46%. Whew. Okay, let's get to our Reddit posts. From the debt-free subreddit, I just paid off $20K in credit card debt in one fell swoop. I've been drowning in $20,000 of credit card debt that never seemed to stop growing. It was a source of a lot of shame, and I didn't tell anyone about it. It was no one's fault but my own. I came into about $50,000 from selling ISOs after my company's stock shot up. So I cashed out and threw it all at the debt, setting aside money for taxes and a buffer for my savings. I wonder if this is SpaceX. The relief hasn't fully hit yet, but I just wanted to share this here since I have no one else to tell. This isn't a story about me grinding my way to being debt-free, and I have so much respect for those who have done that and do that. I am fortunate and grateful that I had this company, or that I had this opportunity with my company, and I will not go back to my old ways. I will continue to have ISOs and RSUs vest, so I'm not completely out on that. I still have a few thousand on my car and my student loans to pay down, but this is a good start. Thanks for reading. Very nice. I'm assuming SpaceX. Doesn't change anything if it just happened to get lucky. You still did it. Good job. Let's hope he had to put themselves in a spot to get the ISOs. Yeah. Well done. Sure, it's a great feeling. Very cool. All right. We got a little bit of a long one here. Let's go check Link really quick. Up 8.53%. Avalanche 5.16. Any other alts popping off? We're still waiting for the other alts to pop off. Ondo is up 1.1%. Very cool. Man, that's crazy about Chainlink. Okay. Will I be the asshole if I didn't attend my friend's birthday dinner because I know it's going to be expensive? Oh, excuse me. Update. Update. Why is there an update? All right, I'm not going to read the update yet. In our friend group, when it's someone's birthday, we always pay for the birthday person. Whether they choose to go to an event, go out to eat, a concert, etc., we will pay for the ticket or the price of their plate. But we have this one friend, love her to pieces, but she's greedy. Whenever we go out, she excessively orders and hopes that we split the bill evenly so that hers still gets what she wants, but a lower bill. When it comes to her birthday, she really overdoes it. Last year, she had around 3 drinks, 2 personal appetizers, a market price meal, $3, and dessert on top of the one they provide simply because it's your birthday. We were a party of 5, but split the bill 4 ways, so we ended up paying $140 per person. Whoa! I'm still traumatized. This year, she wants to go again. Long sigh, because last year it left such a sour taste in our mouths. We're all not excited to go. One friend was on the phone with her recently, and she brought up how she's going to treat herself and said all the things she wanted to get. And when I heard that, I just got really upset. Please understand, the restaurant she chose is not only pricey, but they're priced a la carte. Which I believe is you can pick whatever the hell you want. Yes, it's your birthday, and yes, we pay for the birthday person, but you can't treat yourself on someone else's dime. I know it's a day meant to celebrate her, but it makes me feel super inconsiderate because there are times she doesn't want to pay for something, so she's a no-show or sending something back. Initially, I texted her and let her know soon if I'd be able to attend because finances were tight, even though they're fortunately not. Still, I like to be mindful of expenses, especially in this economy. She then responded back she understands and that she'll find something else that she and I can do that won't break the bank. It's like she knows this is going to be an expensive dinner already. Would I be wrong if I didn't go? No, absolutely not. I feel like this is weird. Person's taking advantage. I don't think that you need to give any kind of excuse about your finances or anything. Fuck that person. I think they're an a-hole. Not the a-hole, what an entitled person. Why you're friends with her? Aside from her expensive eating habits, she's a genuinely good person. She always attends my events, but then again, I don't eat much when I go out. I enjoy being around her. Just wish she'd be more considerate. I think it's weird that she's like, we'll find something else for you to pay for me. I think she's just greedy. I would not be friends with this person. They sound like a horrible person. 88 said, okay, hang on. Ray said they're tripping $200 in 20 years, maybe. If I'm make a heavy sell between $25 to $30 on my link, like I always say, you have to watch the market cap on all these coins. What? 88 said, the most important part of these debt posts are they see how easy it is to spend and how hard it is to pay off and not do it again. Stop being cheap. Just do it here on your birthday. Do it to her on your birthday. I don't know if stop being cheap is a fair thing to say. I don't spend $140 on anyone except for my kid and my fiance. You know, if I'm spending $140, it's going to be on a direct family member. And that's definitely not going to be for no friend. That's crazy to expect even remotely that much. $140 each. So, like, let's just assume that $100 per person and then 40 times 4? That's $160 for her. That's a 60% increase compared to everybody else. That's a lot, dude. Like, she went out of her way to get more. Which I guess you should do, but go to the expensive place too? I don't know. It's just kind of tacky to me. I feel like that's a weird thing. Unfortunately, that happens when you involve money with your friendship. So, it is what it is. That was weird of her to say what she said, though. She's like, we'll find something else for you to pay for it for me. We forgot to read the update. Update. My friends and I have a separate discussion where I brought up some advice from you guys, and we have decided for future we are setting dinner event limits. We are going to do a text in the group chat sometime after her birthday, just so she hopefully doesn't assume it's about her. Why not? I would make it about her. Be like, hey, you know, why don't you just talk to her? Just literally be an adult. Hey, so-and-so. This is Ashley. Hey, Ashley. I know last year we went to the same place. It was quite expensive. Like, way more than we usually spend for these things. And that's not really feasible for us or sustainable. So we're probably going to limit how much we spend on birthdays from now on because you took advantage of the one last year. Be an adult. 88 said so, like 70 each now? I guess so. I don't know. It's hard to tell. He said it was a la carte. They paid $160 a piece. Where was it? Oh, I'm sorry. $140 per person, split 4 ways, which covered 5 people total. 560 divided by 5. So the average is $112 per person if the 5th person had paid. Well, does the group do this for all of them? Like when your birthday's up, you don't pay? Yes, but not. She's the only person that seems to go to the really expensive place and drive up the bill on purpose. So, I don't know. That's what I mean. It's one of those weird things where if you're worried about money, then you shouldn't bring money into the friend group. We've got weird side hustles. This one was just interesting to me. My weirdest side hustle, selling naturally fallen lichen-covered tree branches for around $400 a month. It started by accident. After a storm, I noticed how cool the lichen-covered branches in my yard looked. I baked a few in the oven at 200 degrees Fahrenheit to sanitize them. I'd be worried about them catching on fire. Listed them on Etsy as bioactive terrarium decor. They sold in 2 days Turns out dart frogs and gecko owners love real, pre-sanitized wood for bioactive tanks. That's pretty cool. How it works. Sourcing, I collect naturally fallen branch on hikes after the heavy storms. Prep. Clean, trim to tank sizes 12 to 24 inches, and low heat, bake to sterilize. Earnings $12 to $35 per piece, brings in around $400 per month for 3 hours of work a week. That's pretty cool, actually. I kind of want to try this. I feel like I would end up just building my own terrarium, I think is the problem. My friends roast me for selling sticks on the internet, but it pays for my groceries. What's the most unexpected thing you've ever managed to sell? This is really cool. I gotta join this group because weird side hustles sounds like fun. 88 said she reminds me of a kid eating fast to get the last slice of pizza. Yeah, man, I remember when I was a kid, there was a point in time where I didn't like pizza for some psychotic reason. And I think back, I'm like, who was that kid? That kid sucked. Ray said, I don't birthdays because too many damn people in my family. Don't do weddings either. Used to take up much time and it never even ends. Yeah, the weddings thing too, man. Everyone's got to get married and they got to get married like 12 hours away from home. And then they never end up staying with the person. I'm like, do I really want to go to this wedding? These people that, like, I hardly know, and then I don't think that they're going to stay together because I know the one family member is not, like, one to stay with people. You know, I don't want to be rude. I love my family, but damn, y'all be getting married. All right. Is it really biologically active after it's been baked at 200 degrees? If it is if you're a fungal spore floating around, yes. Okay, I see. It's kind of neat. You sell on Etsy or forum something. Does that mean oven has some fungi now? Oh, ew, that's a good point. There are some that can probably survive in isolated amounts, but they got nothing to grow on. I would just do it in a toaster oven, man. Imagine going to debt for a wedding. Yeah, dude, I don't know, man. It blows my mind. I've never seen an expensive wedding that I enjoyed. Like, visibly. Is that weird? That's a weird thing to say. I don't know. I like the weddings like in the woods or like in a field. They're pretty weddings. They're always super simple too. I don't know. Destination weddings I think are tacky. But to each their own, man. It's not about me. Okay. Next, weird side hustles again, apparently. Oh, okay. This one, I'm going to save this one for a couple more posts down because that one is very wholesome. This is from the gold subreddit from Hard Crimper, found during construction work. This blew my freaking mind. This blew my mind. Look, they cracked one open too to see if it was real. Or maybe that got dug up. Found during construction work. Dude, you find this during construction work, everyone is shutting their mouth. I'm not taking a picture and posting it on the internet. We are all taking a portion, and nobody speaks a word of this. Because you know the government's going to want... The government would probably take custody of all of this. They're so stingy about anything historic, especially if it's gold. These might be worthless. I don't know, what is it, just copper? That's cool. But this gold, I'm assuming this is gold. Might be brass, maybe? I don't know, man. It's freaking crazy, though. This is cool no matter what, man. Bucket of coins, too. See this in the news? Well, expensive is subjective on how many shekels you have. That's true. That's true. I think it's a percentage game, really. My family, it pays to get married. Okay. You know damn well if there's an open bar, that birthday chick will be there, right? Getting alcohol poisoning. Oh my gosh. Okay. Any ideas where this could come from? Update, I thought this would be clear that I wasn't the one who found it. Who in their right mind would go on this shit stain of a platform of all places and make themselves a target? But okay, apparently I wasn't clear, so here we are. I did not find this. I have none of this gold. I just wanted to share some cool stamped gold. You can stop sending me weird-ass messages now. Thank you. Also, this is not AI. Here is the BBC article. I mean, it does. I would have assumed that was you as well. You didn't say where did this come from or anything like that. Oh, man. You've gone and posted it on the internet. Yeah, that's the first thing I said too, man. It's gold, they say. Bucket of coins. Oh, man, good stuff, good stuff. Okay. Oh my gosh, I did not see how long this one was. Should we save this one for last? This one's gonna be a crazy one. We'll go like second from last. Maybe? Yeah, okay. I was asked, this is from Malicious Compliance, posted by Keyboard Bastard. I was asked to monitor employee productivity. I wasn't told to exclude management. I once worked as the IT guy for an HR company where the founder and president became convinced that all the sales call center was wasting too much time on the internet. These were already the lowest paid people in the company, but apparently the solution to that problem was finding reasons to pay them even less. In order to not single out any department, he wanted browser history reporting on everyone in the company, so managers and HR could review it during weekly performance meetings. So I complied. I wrote a scheduled task that scraped browser history from every Windows machine on the company domain, stored it centrally, and fed it into a management portal along with the employees' information. The first reports came in. The call center employees were surprisingly boring. Sure, there was Facebook, YouTube, Amazon, an occasional person apparently conducting extensive research into things that definitely weren't part of the job. But overall, they were pretty tame. Then HR started looking at everyone else's reports. That's when things got interesting. The browsing history of the founder, owner, and president was absolutely spectacular. So much porn. Like this man has a sickness level. And while I wasn't particularly surprised, I had worked on his home computer before and already knew about his rather enthusiastic browsing habits, I had never expected to see it neatly categorized in the same productivity dashboard he demanded for his employees. A few days later, HR asked me if I could exclude certain people from their reports. I asked who. They gave me a list. The president was at the top. Funny how quickly the company's commitment to objective productivity metrics disappeared when the metrics became objective. Oops, accidentally left the original in the photocopier, right? Oh, man. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. Pretty common practice. Hold on. The stick one was decent. It's pretty common practice. Knew this was coming. That's so crazy to me, man. I guess the even craziest part was I had worked on his home computer before and already knew about his rather enthusiastic browsing habits. Why are you looking at browsing history? I do IT all the time. Like, one of my side gigs is just miscellaneous IT work. I take people's tablets, phones, computers, laptops, everything. I never once have gone snooping. Ever. Zero. None of my business. It is not my business. The whole purpose is discretion. I'm fixing your device and I'm giving it back to you. None of that me fixing your device requires me to look at any of your shit. So him already knowing was weird. But damn, also, don't be looking at porn at work. That's just weird, dude. Get a life. Go to the bathroom. Use your data on your phone. I don't know. Why you gotta do it at the work PC? It's just weird. Owner's items, Vince McMahon. Okay. Alright. This one's pretty good as well. From relationship advice posted by Throwaway Bicycle 7663. Partner, 25 female, expects me, 26 male, to be extremely handy. I am not. How do I navigate this? I'm not even going to read this. I'm going to read it, but I'm not going to read it before I give an opinion. You navigate this by being a man and becoming handy. That is how. There's no situation where you're going to go, oh, I'm incapable, and I'm going to go, yeah, you're probably incapable. You are not incapable. You are a man. Learn how to do things that men do. Don't be a bitch. I, 26 male, and my partner, 25 female, have been together coming up on a year now. Things have been great, generally speaking, except for one thing that's been really nagging at me, and that we just had a spat about. I'm going to tell you right now, he's insecure because he realizes that he's a bitch. That's what it is. That is what it will boil down to at the end. Her previous partners have all been very handy. There you go. Insecurity. I'm talking oil changing, really freaking easy. 30 amp plug installing, really freaking easy. Barn building handy. These are skills I simply do not possess right now. These are the easiest skills on the planet to learn. You are a 26-year-old man. Please. You are on Reddit right now. Hello. Oh my gosh. She has vocalized on several occasions that it is a must-have for her to be with someone who will do these things for her. In turn, I have tried my best to play that role and learn the skills. She seeks in a long-term partner. I've changed her car grill, assembled her furniture, hung shelves, albeit a little wonkily. The point being, I'm making the effort as best I can within reason. I hate this kid, dude. I think this kid's a little bitch. I'm trying not to be mean. We just had a disagreement about what reasonable expectations are as far as this subject goes and how much I am expected to know/do right now. My position is that I am who I am and I know what I know. I'm more than willing to help her with these things, but plainly stated, it is a learning process for me. I'm not naturally handy and have to pull up tutorials or look online for advice on how to do things. Everybody does that. Her position is that since she owns a business which involves a motor vehicle and doesn't have the greatest support system from her family, she needs someone who can step in to do these tasks, mechanical work, oil changes, etc. It's very important to her to wind up with someone who can help her with these things. I'm struggling to find balance between being a supportive partner and managing what could be seen as unreasonable expectations. She said something to the effect of, other guys wouldn't think twice about it. Which stung pretty bad if I'm being honest. Kind of feels like I'm being perceived as a lackluster partner just because I don't know how to change the oil on a car. Guy, it is the easiest thing on the planet. You undo a little plug, the oil comes out, kind of like when you go pee, and then you plug it back up, and then you take the filter off, it's another screw, and then you put a new filter on, and then you pour the oil in. It's really easy. I just described the whole process verbally probably within 30 seconds. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I don't really have anyone I can go to vent about this or ask for advice, so here I am. If anyone has been in a similar situation / knows how to navigate this, I'd really appreciate it. If she was asking you to like build a room addition onto your freaking house, sure. But she's asking you to change the oil in her car, and you're like, I don't know how to do it. If this was actually important to her, she'd have chosen someone who knew how to do these things instead of one who doesn't. Then she can date one of them. Don't tolerate this manipulative nonsense. I don't know, man. It sounds like she's just trying to make him a man. He probably has all the traits. This is a dude, I'm going to tell you right now, this is a dude that was probably 99% of the time in the friend zone. This is the 1% of the time where he could get out of it, and he's like, I don't know how to do oil change. That's out of my purview. And she's like, please just learn how to do the oil change. I bet you she knows how to do the oil change. JJ using the gayest voice when he reads his words. I can't, dude, I can't. Any man on the planet that's like, I didn't know how to do the oil change. I would just have to leave. I would have to walk away. Because I would end up in jail from smacking you in the head. And you would be like, oh my God, call the police. I can't do it. I really can't. There's a guy on Reddit that's like, my partner is being manipulated because I can't do a simple oil change, but it's not within my skills. I know what I know right now, as if he's going to take the time to fucking learn it later. I can't do it, dude. If she does, she should change her own oil then. See, I guess this is where I'm more conservative. I think that the man should fulfill manly roles and not bitch on Reddit like a little pussy. I've been wrong before, though. That's fine. As a woman who can do oil changes, build things, fix appliances, she can also learn to do it herself. She's choosing him as a partner, but expecting him to change. It's crazy, rude, and uncaring. What are these snowflakes on Reddit? If these things are so important to her, why doesn't she teach herself how to do these things? She won't have to rely on others that way. I'd leave. She's looking to take advantage of people who are handy for her own benefit when she's capable of teaching herself these things. You deserve better, man. That's great. Why not just, everybody just do your own thing and never be in a relationship? Never try to have a partner that you can like rely on for like one simple stupid thing, like an oil change that takes people 10 minutes. 10 minutes. It's a 10-minute thing. Good God, man. A 26-year-old man as well. It's not like this kid's like 14. This is a 26-year-old grown adult man. Short of reasonable when she started insulting you. I tell her like that. Yeah, I guess the insults are a little petty, but I don't know, man. I don't know. She's kind of a bitch, but he should, even if he leaves her, which is not unreasonable, he should learn how to do an oil change. He's a 26-year-old man. I don't know. It's been a year. It's not his wife. I agree with them. Listen, if you were dating your girl, you'd ask if they could cook, right? Yes. Yes, I would. And if she went to Reddit and was like, my husband, my boyfriend that I've been with for 1 year is asking me if I can make him a sandwich. These are not within my skills right now. I would be like, what are you doing? The people on Reddit said that you were being manipulative. And I'd be like, because I asked you if you could make dinner? Okay. We don't have to be in a relationship then. Bye. I think this is weird snowflake behavior. Okay. Extremely handy as well. Extremely handy is great. Oil change, extremely handy. This dude went to Reddit as well to like bitch about his girlfriend. I'm sorry, I think this is weird. Alright. Next, this one's super duper wholesome. Probably owns a Ray said he probably owns a Dodge. Or she probably owns a Dodge. Okay. Weird side hustles from Paul Loby. My weirdest, also really wholesome side hustle pays $20 an hour, and all I do is watch the same rotation of movies over and over with seniors. Around 5 months ago, I accidentally found the most niche, rewarding, and deeply bizarre side hustle of my life. Freelance Senior Movie Companion, a patient media escort, which is just a fancy corporate title for someone who sits with residents in memory care or hospice, queues up classic movies, and provides low-intensity companionship so full-time staff can catch up on paperwork. Now, I spend 8 to 10 hours a week doing this. It pays anywhere from $20 to $30 an hour, often paid by families who want their olds to still have human interaction if they can't or if they are busy. I love this. I think this is brilliant. I've always been curious because I see all these random like posts on X and stuff about, but JJ, he put up a shelf. Apparently he did a bad job at that. A man that can't handle a level? He sounds like he should be seeking other men. And he should be the female in the group. That's my opinion. Or maybe he needs just a butch chick. That's fine too. I like women that are slightly muscular. All right. I've always been curious, maybe not curious. I just always found it interesting about like the people in like Japan where you can like pay them to like be your grandpa for a day or whatever. I always thought that was cute. 88 said, F man, that sounds depressing. Couldn't pay me enough to do it. Oh my. No, I think it sounds super fun. Very nice. How on earth did you find something like that? That's so brilliant. I think it's possible. Demand in Denmark, blah, blah, blah. As a hospice volunteer, I know your work is sorely needed. Do you know how often I have non-dying people ask about this kind of thing? If you are willing to let the adult children do a background check, that's all you need to get your foot in the door. If you aren't dying, you basically have no support. Yes, how did you find that? See, a lot of these people are just greedy. I actually would want to like talk to the people. I always thought it would be really cool to just go to the like senior centers and just interview the people about their lives. Because they probably have so many good stories to tell, man. How many people out of 10 do you think change their own oil? It's not about whether or not you change your own oil. I go to Pennzoil sometimes. It saves me time. But you should know how. And if you are a man with a girlfriend, at the very least, the guy should be like, babe, that's not something I'm capable of doing, but I will take it to Pennzoil for you and I will get it done. That's it. Problem solved. Problem solved. He doesn't have to be a little weenie and go on Reddit and be like, oh my gosh, my girlfriend wants me to do physical things. Okay. Listen, if you were dating a girl, you'd ask if they could cook, right? If she said, no, I can't, would you date her? Yes. But if she said, no, I can't, and then proceeded to play a victim and then go on Reddit and be, oh my gosh, this guy just asked me if I know how to cook. What am I going to do? Then I would not date her because she sounds like a victim, a problematic, just constantly bitching and moaning victim. So no. F-Man, that sounds depressing. I just read that. How many people? Yep. Watching reruns with old people close to death. Sounds fun to you? I mean, they need to hang out with people too, man. Now, if he was a pro cuddler for the elderly, that would be weird. I feel like I've read about that. Maybe not elderly, but there's people that pay to cuddle with people. There's like cuddle parties. I think JonTron, somebody on YouTube did a whole video about it. There's weird stuff, man. There's weird stuff in the world. So if a man says to me he can't change a tire, that's where I draw the line. Ray said Japan is actually sad because a lot of old people die alone. There is a specific name for it. It's an epidemic out there. It's sad. I hope America doesn't become like that. See, now here's the other side of that. Are they dying alone because they were really shitty in their life? You know what I mean? It's sad if they die alone and they were nice and they were just abandoned because their kids are shitty. But if they were just like really awful people and just like rude to everyone around them and they die alone, kind of had it coming. You know what I mean? If I'm a complete dick in my old age and I die alone, I will fully expect I will be sitting there on my deathbed being like, I did this to myself. Philly said, I take my and my wife's cars to get the oil changed. I take care of that shit. There you go. See? Philly, that's a compromise. Beautiful. I got no problem with that, Philly. Now, did Philly go on Reddit and go, my wife asked me to do the oil change and I'm not handy? No. He just went and got it done. That's what you do. It's that simple. But no, everyone on Reddit's like, she's using you. She was not using him. Now, was she a dick when she insulted him? Sure. She was doing that weird, like, passive-aggressive, like, my other partners, whatever, blah, blah, blah. That's a little problematic, you know. But that's not what this conversation is about. Maybe they died alone because their spouse already died 15 years prior. Having to pay strangers to watch movies with your elderly mom sounds depressing. Why would the family just do that? Some people don't have time, man. If you had a job that demanded your presence, but you did not want your elderly parents to be alone, and this option was available to you, I think it's nice. That guy had thin skin. That guy had no skin. And if he saw me say that, he would write a post about it on Reddit. This guy on YouTube said I had no skin, and he expects me to have skin. Okay. I thought this was adorable. I'm sure it can be sad and depressing. I think just that entire genre can be sad and depressing, but it's got to be done. Okay, this is a very, very long one. So let me go maintenance myself for. Okay, 88 said there's no question I'd spend it with my mom and not a job. Well, you have passive income. If you did not have any income and your job required you, and without it, you would not be able to pay for the care that your mom needs, you would more than likely, I think, maybe I'm wrong, go to your work and then pay somebody to go sit with your mom. Billy said 2 problems. Number 1, listening to people on Reddit. Number 2, posting your life on Reddit. Yeah. I feel like posting your life on Reddit is going to become the norm as we go forward. Listening to people on Reddit too. I guess there's a small percentage that gives good advice, I'm sure. But man, I love Reddit. It's very fun. But I've posted on like random. It's always the most random, like any of the crypto stuff, any of the investing stuff, anything with like specific software that I'm trying to figure out, or just like very general, basic, like hobby level things. And oh my gosh, people are just constantly angry. You can post somewhere and be like, oh, this is a picture of a cool house. Check this out. And somebody will be like, that's not a cool house. You're an idiot. And you suck for thinking that that's a cool house and you should die. And you're like, oh my gosh. There's always one dude, no matter where you go on the internet. Reddit is where they thrive. It's like a pool of water, and they're all just like mosquito babies, like waiting for somebody to come up, and then they're gonna be like, you suck, everything sucks. They're just like awful, angry people. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I'm like, why? Why are you angry all the time? Like, life's pretty good, man. Even if it's not, you don't have to be angry all the time. There's like people who are like completely poor and homeless, and they're living it up, man. They're vibing. They're not angry all the time, dude. We're just That's Reddit shtick, though. No, I think it is. I think it is. People enjoy conflict. Majority of the content that gets views and clicks is always confrontational, so it makes sense. There's something in our brains, something like Neanderthal, where we're like, ooh, 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 angry people, and we just like thrive by watching that. People that reply on Reddit to someone's personal problems are purposely trying to F with them and make things worse. No, there's usually decent advice. Like, Best of Redditor Updates has a lot of good stuff, too. There's actually, like, decent advice sometimes. Majority of the time, a lot of the relationship advice stuff is always like, my spouse is being distant, blah, blah, blah. I don't think that they're cheating. And then they post a bunch of, like, telltale signs of cheating. And then Reddit is usually like, well, they might be cheating. You should consider the fact that there's a possibility they might be cheating. And then they're like, guys, they were cheating. Thank you. Thank you for opening my eyes. For advice on Reddit for your car or computer, that shit can work well. Scotty Kilmer, man. I used to watch Scotty Kilmer religiously on YouTube. What a freaking legend. Idiot said I was surprised that there were more positive comments for dude and not more bitch boy comments. I would argue that those were bitch boy comments. They were like, she's using you, man. You don't need to learn how to do an oil change. No, bro, you don't have to do the oil change. That's so messed up for her to ask you to do the oil change. You should call your mom and move back in with her, and you don't have to do the oil change, right? There's no reason for you to have to do anything ever. I'm on disability because I can't stand for more than 10 minutes. I need a chair. But she should not expect you to do an oil change, man. I need to get a fedora. That was my Reddit mod. All right, let's get into this one. This one's going to be a long one. This is from Best of Redditor Updates, posted by Choice Evidence 1983. I am not original poster. Original poster is Hefty Sprinkles 5723. Title: I, 32 female, think my husband's, 40 male, mistress is stalking me. What's weird is when he was 18, she was 10. Hopefully they haven't been together that long. Original post, May 25th, 2026. Trigger warnings. Oh no, hold on. Okay. Abandonment, emotional manipulation, and deception. That's fine. Thank God it was not some of the bad stuff. Like, this is bad, but not as bad as I can get. Okay. I think my husband's mistress is stalking me. We're currently separated after I found out he's been having an affair with the same person for years. Wow. I first found out 5 years ago, and we worked things out. Clearly he didn't. He swore he'd ended things with her, and I believed him. We had our last child 4 months during that period. 4 months old? 4-year-old male. I understand. I don't know what my brain did there. Since the year started, I've been getting messages on Facebook and Instagram from accounts with no followers telling me my husband's having an affair. The DMs had details about the trips he'd taken with her, how they'd go on dates, have a child together, and all his friends' mom and siblings knew her. I asked him often if he was still seeing her, and he denied it. What pushed me over the edge was when I saw earrings and a scrunchie that weren't mine in my car after he borrowed it for a day. Ew, dude. I went through his phone and saw that he was still with her. They even had sex tapes, and he was constantly telling her how much better sex was with her. That's so gross, dude. how he loved her and wanted to be with her. It's obvious he's gotten very strong feelings for her. He admitted to everything, including the child they have together. They have together? Oh my gosh. I left the house and went to my mom's to take a break. We've been officially separated for a month. You need to run away, dude. This guy's nuts. Also, I do think that that's a thing. The scrunchie and hair ties or whatever. I think that that's a thing where women will do that to kind of make sure that a guy's single. So I'm assuming maybe he was lying to the mistress too, and she left some shit in the car for the wife to find. Clearly the dumbass didn't check the car. This is crazy. All right, let me check the chat really quick. Thought they would be telling him to man up more. Okay. His response should have been to find something about her that he would like change and maybe both change for the better. Exactly. It's not like she was asking him to like burn a building down or something, you know? What she asks you to take out the garbage, how dare she, right? Wait, is this about the girl wanting the man to do the oil change or just take care of it by taking the car to Jiffy Lube? She wanted him to do the oil change, but the compromise could have been him taking the car to get the oil changed. He didn't say anything about that. He was like, I don't know how to do stuff. And he's 26 years old. Adam Thomas said, you can do everything on PC. I'm surprised the poll isn't 100% for PC. Wants him to be hands-on. Wants him to just be a dude. I think he's probably a weenie. Like I said, he's probably a friend zone guy. 99% of the time, this is his 1% chance, and he's squandering it by running to Reddit. My girlfriend wants me to do the oil change on her car. That's such a weird thing, dude. What a weird... I don't even know what you even call that. Is that a rant? He's like trying to rat on his girlfriend because she wants him to do an oil change. If he did, she'd say I could have took it myself. He should have just been like, babe, I'm going to go do your oil change. He could have taken it to the freaking Pennzoil, brought it back and be like, I did your oil change in the parking lot at O'Reilly's or whatever. I don't know, man. I think he's just probably has anxiety and he's a little weenie boy. And he's like, I don't know how to do the oil change. And he refuses to look it up and see how simple it is on the internet because he wants to sit at his computer all day and play World of Warcraft. That's what the problem is. Let's continue. Okay. We've been officially separated for a month. This is crazy. What a I hope to God nobody I know ever has to go through anything like this, including myself. This sucks. The problem now is that his mistress keeps showing up to places I go often. Oh my God, she's gonna kill her. The playground I take the kids to, the bookshops where I buy the school supplies, where I take the girls to get their hair done. We went to get ice cream once, and I could have sworn I saw her. I know what she looks like from the pictures and videos they have together. I feel like I'm going crazy. These are all public places, so there's nothing I can do about it. She just sits there and stares at us. It makes me very uneasy. This is so creepy. Oh my God. What is the best way to address this situation? You need to get a gun. You need to get a gun. Please arm yourself. That's crazy. I can't ask for her to be kicked out of a public place. She's always with her daughter anyway, so it never looks weird that a woman with her child are at the same place I go to with my kids. I'm not speaking to my husband. How does she know exactly where you are? That's my question. How the hell does she know exactly where you are when you are there? That's crazy. I'm not speaking to my husband unless it's about the kids and don't want to ask him yet. You need to bring that up in court. Why is the chick that you broke off our however long relationship with stalking me? That's crazy. This is typical gang stalking mental illness. It might be. Editor's note, OOP updated the next day on the original post. Update. Thank you all for your advice. I confronted my husband about it. He said she's not showing up at the places I go to. I'm the only one going to places I'm the one going to places she frequents. What? My husband used to be the one who took the kids out on weekends since he's virtually never home on the weekdays. I do school pickup and drop off, and he does the fun stuff. All the places he used to take the kids to, which I'm doing now since they're with me, were suggested by her. Oh no, that's where she buys her books. The playground is where she used to take her nieces and nephews before their daughter was born. She recommended the salon to him since my daughters and her have the same hair texture. He says she used to go to the salon on Sundays after church, but only recently switched it up to Saturdays when I take the girls. Yeah, whose schedule is this? Nobody has a schedule this strict. This is crazy. The ice cream place is apparently her favorite. So yeah, my dick of a husband had been taking our kid. Maybe they met there. I was wondering that. I'm like, what if they met at these places? My dick of a husband had been taking our kids to his mistress's favorite spots. My kids already love going to all those places, and finding a salon that caters to our daughter's hair needs close to us will be difficult. He didn't show any remorse telling me about it and reminding me that it's a public space. She hasn't committed any crime. I'm just going to have to find better alternatives. Okay, so it wasn't gang stalking. This is actually happening. Relevant comments. Excuse me. You don't need a relationship advice. You need legal advice. Start with the divorce and then discuss the stalking. If you have everything written down, time of day, date, where, when, your kids with you, all of it, and stay off social media, about to go to X salon with the kids or whatever, the attorney can advise you on possibility of a TRO, some kind of restraining order, I'm sure. Talk with an attorney immediately. I don't post on social media. My last post was from 2019. You should make a police report. I can't easily go to a police report since she's not trespassing. They're all public space. You can do a police report. You can still, they will still document that you think that this person might be stalking you. Is it possible she planted an AirTag in your car? I doubt it. My phone would have picked up on it. That's what I was thinking. She's got to have some kind of tracker if she knows exactly where she's at. Totally on your side here, but I'm just thinking, if these were her spots and your husband was taking your kids to meet her, she could be thinking, feeling the same way you are. Like, wow, this lady's obsessed with me. She keeps showing up where I am because technically your husband piggybacked off her spots and shuffled them onto you without informing you. She would likely be there because it's her routine, not his. I could be a little of both due to the DMs, but honestly, I'm thinking she's just doing her normal outings and you started showing up, and perhaps now she's more intentionally going just to see if you'll be there. I don't know. It's a crazy situation. Best revenge is happiness. This marriage is over. I'd focus on getting out and your own happiness. Start going to different places and building up different friendships. Exactly. That might have initially been the case, but now that she's intentionally switched up her routine, it's no longer a coincidence. So if he is telling the truth and not covering for her, that son of a bitch was seeing her in these places too, with your kids, start looking for alternative spots. My kids said he didn't introduce anyone to them. They're the chattiest kids and would have mentioned it. I think she just gave him ideas on where to take them, since she used to babysit for her nieces and nephews. On getting a lawyer for filing for child support. I'm not in the US, but I'm working on putting together everything for a lawyer. Move as far away as you can and get sole custody. It's not that simple. The kids need to be close to their schools, and sole custody isn't easily given here. I wonder what she wants. Why she wants to see you. Aren't you curious too? Why not ask her? Not in front of the kids though. To what end? My husband broke our marriage. He made conscious decision to be with her and have a child with her. It wasn't an accident. They actually decided to have a child together and did it. Turn off location sharing. If you're using it, kids' devices too, check around your car for a GPS monitor. The kids don't have any devices, and we never share our location. Turns out she knows where I go with the kids thanks to my husband. Provide more details since her last conversation with her husband. We haven't spoken since our last conversation, where he said she suggested the places I take the kids to, which is why she kept turning up too. We only communicate about the kids now. I took my kids to a new salon, which is about an hour away from the previous one. He's going to be the one taking them to the other places on weekends, so now I'm no longer going to worry about meeting her. Okay, we have an update. This one's crazy. So far, this is already too much. I don't understand how people deal with this stuff, man. Infidelity is exhausting on every level. Oh no, Pump is dumping. They need to change the name. That was so stupid. That was a stupid joke. All right. Let me check the chat. He's the kind of goofy that can't drive a stick shift. Maybe I'll do the oil changes if you allow me to pick pick your wardrobe. This is a typical gang stalking mental illness. Jenny got a gun. You can definitely get law enforcement involved. This is stalking. Talk to a lawyer too. Even if it wasn't stalking, you could still go to the police station and be like, I think this is happening. Please document it so that I have, the paperwork for my lawyer. Every time I go here, this person's present. You got to start documenting it. Plus, if you have to pop her, at least they know. Just start staring at her, though. What's that about? Yeah, dude, it's just weird. The husband tells the woman where the wife is. Yeah, it's everything's about it is like super weird. Does this mistress know about her? So she's not the mistress, she's the new wife. She should get over it and move on, in my opinion. I actually agree. It sounds like she's way too much. She's like, this woman's stalking me, and it's my husband, and me, and my kids, and our kids, and my husband. Like, she's still kind of in the married mentality. She's like, me and my husband are separated, but we're still married, and this bitch is still the third wheel. It's very much, and that's unfortunate because it's kind of unavoidable. You're married to somebody, I'm sure that's bound to happen in the majority of the cases, but I agree, she does need to move on, for sure. Update, August 7th, 2026, over 2.5 months later. Update, I, 32 female, think my husband's mistress is stalking me. We're getting a divorce. Really? Really? Surprise. One of them are crazy. They're probably all crazy, dude. These people are all crazy. We're getting a divorce. My lawyer assures me that the whole process shouldn't take more than a year. Oh, he's milking it, dude. More than a year. Are you crazy? It's my husband and I want him now. JG Wentworth, let's go. 877 husband now. The man is just the asshole in the middle. Yeah, that's true. 88 said, right, I can tell that's her mentality because she's calling her the mistress still. Yeah. Yeah. Now they're getting a divorce as well. That was another giveaway. We're getting a divorce. Like she was gonna maybe get an update where she's like, we fixed our marriage and we're staying together. He's no longer seeing her, Like that was the other option. My husband's mistress still has apparently been accepted into a graduate program in another country, and my husband had been planning on relocating with her. She'll be leaving before the year's ends, and she was planning on closing his business, and he was planning on closing his business, selling his assets and leaving with her. He was just going to leave under the guise of a job opportunity, and after enough time had passed for separation, file for a divorce. At least we both get what we want this way. Our oldest daughter is very attached to him, and I worry a lot about how she'll take the news. How do I explain to our kids that their dad is leaving the country and will possibly never return long term? That's so shitty, dude. What a piece of crap. That's so awful for those kids. Relevant top comments. Normally, I would suggest to protect the kids, not to share too much to hurt them. The amount of pain it can cause and confusion, and how co-parenting is a need for the children's sake, to not poison their feelings toward his side. But he is leaving for his side peace to another country. He planned originally to just go, stay, and then divorce, all while cheating you out of your shares of assets and his own kids' comfort. Not to mention his own kids' comfort. How about his own kids' entire mental health? That's crazy. Dad just disappears. Not to mention had plans to be a father to them once he moved. No plans to be a father to them once he moved. Age-appropriate explanation should be done with answers given in time as they can process and understand better when they ask questions. I feel like you should never keep anything from your kids, honestly. His actions originally was going to be bad on them anyway, so no need to protect his feelings or reputation with them, but not to hurt the kids. The 4-year-old should be told Dad wanted to live in another country, so he will not be living with them anymore. I mean, they're already separated. If you have a teen, for example, Dad had an affair and wants to move to another country to be with them, so you're divorcing. That seems a little harsh. Listen, you're 17, your dad's effing some other chick and he's moving to another country to F her. Their father, as you said, planned to sneak away and do you dirty as a wife, steal everything built together for his own desires, and abandon his own kids in the process. So tell kids enough, but no details that is not age appropriate, without any care of how he looks otherwise. Anywho, or anyone who says something to you, make it clear what his plans were. Jesus, that was loud. By leaving you and abandoning the kids, then manipulate the situation to steal assets, harming you and the kids. For now, I'm going to tell them we're getting a divorce and their dad is leaving the country. Since we've been living separately for a while now, they already know we're no longer together. Yeah, that's perfect. You better have your attorney put some kind of a stop to that on that business so he can't sell it out from under you. You're entitled to part of it. And if you're married, you should be entitled to 50-50 or something similar to that. Make sure that your attorney does this, because if he doesn't, he'll turn around and sell it and be gone. It doesn't really work like that where I'm from. Since I didn't contribute to the business in any way, I'm not entitled to it. Damn. The question does not seem to be related to the topic, but with regards to the child, you need to sit with her together and explain that he is going away. He is her father and needs to explain himself to her. It should not be just be your job. When it comes to children, don't lie. I agree. Many parents will cover up the fact that a parent cheated or pretend that they don't love each other anymore. It's even more important now to be honest parent, though, whom your kids rely on to tell the truth, because this is a betrayal of them and your family as much as it's a betrayal of you. I don't know if that's a proper sentence. It also means they are fully informed so they can decide on the level of their own relationship with the dad going forward. It's unfair on them to have a relationship with him in a way they may not have chosen to if they knew the circumstances. You must tell them in an age-appropriate way, though. And the aim isn't to make them hate their dad, but understanding the issue in a truthful way. The problem is, they're going to probably hate their dad, honestly. This post was trash. I mean, it was a crazy post, man. Best of Redditor updates. At least they're getting a divorce. The husband really managed to make an already awful situation even messier. Planning to just disappear with the mistress is honestly the worst part. That is crazy, dude, for the kids. There's a saying, when a mistress becomes a wife, it leaves a vacancy. Oh, damn. There you go. That's what 88 was pretty much saying. All right. Bitcoin still doing its thing. 63,080. We've got Chainlink maybe continuing its upside. Are we going to see $10 Chainlink before Sunday? I'm surprised that Avalanche woke up a little bit as well. What other alts are going to wake up during this lovely weekend? Pump is actually waking down. Interesting. God, she's salty. Jerry. Okay. Last post of the evening, a little palate cleanser with a lovely automobile. Your very own private mountaintop, $820,000. No joke, when I was a kid, I used to unironically look at, we had like real estate papers, and then we eventually got the internet, and I would look on random, I don't remember, random real estate websites. There was like a mountaintop chalet, like mansion cabin thing in Colorado. I remember vividly. They had like a sick conversation pit. It was pretty cool. But this to me, especially 820K, if you are a filthy rich, like FU money person and you don't own something cool like this, then you're doing it wrong, in my opinion. This is literally, you own the mountaintop. This is the house right here. This is so freaking cool. This is in North Carolina, too. Ooh. There's a catch. It's called Hogback Mountain Road. Oh, no. That is the worst street name. If you got $820,000 to buy this, you should be able to afford to change the name of the street. Hogback Mountain is crazy. You live on the back of a hog? That's crazy. That's so funny, dude. Hogback Mountain Road. All right. Ooh, yeah, this is like 1970s, maybe even 90s. Rich, maybe like real estate mogul. Hogback Mountain Road is crazy. That's a cool door. You're telling me you can name the street since you own the mountaintop? I don't see why not. Why can't you just like... I'm sure that there's some kind of thing where you got to get a certain majority of people to petition the state or whatever, maybe the county, to change the name of the street. What is that? There's a little wet bar. Okay. The tile is crazy. This is like the tile that you have in your school, or like your great grandma has in her basement because it was like really, really cheap. Ray said, I actually take it back. FPC, I picked PS5 with GTA 6. I'm good to survive the rest of my life. Just need some weed, though. I feel like it grows wild at this point in certain places, especially California. I'm not a big cantilevered ceiling guy, but I do like this. This is lovely. PC is definitely better. Oh, 100% for sure. Especially Zombie Apocalypse. You can do whatever the hell you want on that PC. Problem is, there's no internet, so you gotta have your games already on it. So we'll just assume that you have your games. Bathroom commercial. Yeah, that tile is crazy. This is like middle school tile right here. That is awful. And the grout is like permanently stained with poop. You could tell because it's not the same color throughout. It's like white here, and then it's black out in the middle. Gross, grody like dirt and shit dragged from outside. The furniture is cool though. Is that a TV? I think that's a picture. These are one of those sociopaths that have no television. Yeah, they got a piano here. They'll just sit around. Imagine being a piano cuck. No GTA 6 on PC, super gay though. Dude, I 100% agree. They always do this. They're like, oh, it's going to take a while to come out with PC, which drives me insane. Why? They're literally making the game on a PC. They can't release the game on the PC that it's being made on. But I don't know. Maybe they have to make it for console first. Maybe they sell more. Who knows? I think it's weird. So weird. This bathroom's fugly. Oh my gosh. This ain't bad. Bedroom's pretty sick. This is the other side of the cantilevered ceiling too. Yeah. Wow, that's huge. I don't know if I want the wall behind my bed butting up to the living room though. What is that toilet, dude? They took the toilet from the school too. What is happening? Jeez. Also, the vanity with no mirror. You just look outside. They're like, you don't have to do your makeup, doll. You're beautiful. What's this creepy? That's not a shower, right? Watch that be like a dumbwaiter or something. That's so creepy, little door. This is sick. What is that, a little atrium for your birds? What am I looking at here? Why is there an outside picture in the middle? Is this what's inside there? There's a little shower room. That's kind of cool. Okay. We're in a completely different part of the house now. There's stairs. God, these are like this is the railing that's inside of every single mall. JJ's in his apartment camping on a beautiful some of the choices here are crazy. Some of the choices are crazy, man. This railing is nuts. Camping on a beautiful home. Okay, here we go. This is sick. Look at this. I think it's climate controlled as well. Little all-season room, completely detached from the home. How much do you think it costs to keep this thing heated during the winter? Whew. I guess it's in North Carolina, so it's probably not too crazy. Is that a stovetop? What is this room? Ew, what the hell are these? Creepy-ass Mona Lisa alternatives. This is haunted, dude. Is that a sexy one? What is happening? Does it get cold in North Carolina? Barely. I remember, so we used to go to North Carolina for work every year during the winter. They freaked out because they have like no infrastructure for dealing with snow. There was like no joke, like this much snow on the ground. Like think of a centimeter, and it's like less than that. And they were shutting the whole state down. We went to the mall. We got there. It was late, so we're like, let's go to the mall, and then tomorrow we'll actually do stuff. We go to the mall. Every store is shutting down. They got paper, handwritten notes. They're like, we're shutting down early for the weather, and everyone's like running around. And we're from Michigan. We're walking around. We're like, what's going on? They're like, we're shutting down early. The snow. And we were like, oh, what snow? There was like no snow, dude. They were freaking out. It was really funny. How many acres is that property? Let me take a look for you. Copy link address. I'm going to look over here so as to not dox myself. It is 1.66 acres. So you cannot own horses. There's a lot of pictures. Do they have all the pictures here is the question. This is awesome, dude. I didn't see that. That is so freaking cool. They need a little bit of grass seed there. Come on. Oh, that's it? They don't have all the pictures? Idiot about to mog us. They think frost is snow. Yeah, for real. It's like Big Bird House. Dope AF. Yeah, I mean, it's right up my alley with the. I can't tell if it's got to be 60s, right? Let me actually check. Let me check. This was built. Whoops. This was built. 1966. Let's go. Okay. I think when we first clicked on it and started clicking through, I was thinking 70s or 90s. 66. This is crazy for 66. The toilet's so insane. Is it floating? Why is it a floating toilet? I wish we could see all the dang pictures. The fireplace is awesome. Beautiful. Beautiful home. Beautiful home. Decent. Outdated. Oh, it's for sure outdated. It just reminds me of my great-grandma. Like bad. Oof. Link giving back some gains. Not too much. A couple percent. See if it retraces the whole move. That'd be pretty crazy, wouldn't it? What are we thinking, boys and girls? PlayStation 1, really? Not by much. I'm glad Xbox didn't get any. The land's where the money's at. That's why it's cheap. Okay, I asked you guys, asbestos in the balls. It's a zombie apocalypse. What do you have in the bunker for entertainment? 60% of you guys said PlayStation. 40% of you guys said gaming PC. Nobody said Xbox. Nobody said Nintendo. I don't know what I would pick, man. I think the Switch is great. The Nintendo Switch is really good. Because there's like a lot of couch co-op stuff, but there's a lot of new modern games as well. And you can go mobile with it. I think I would go gaming PC though. I do. I think that there's way more games that you can play. I would go fully loaded gaming PC. Alright guys, we're going to call it an evening. I may or may not potentially, allegedly, urban exploration tomorrow. Which may wind up with me becoming incarcerated. Hopefully that does not happen, but you never know. So I'm warning you right now, if I do miss a stream, that's going to be why. This is all alleged. It's actually parody, so I'm joking. But we'll see what happens. Guys, as always, when the market starts to do anything crazy or anything at all, I will hop back on. Otherwise, I will see you all tomorrow. Don't forget to smash the like button on your way out. Happy Friday, and good night.